You have so many things in place that you would make that money back quick.
Yeah, but it's the if you bust your butt to make an A in this class and you study every night till, should I take your 10 points over 90 and distribute it upon somebody that didn't study? Because what's going to happen if I do that all throughout the semester? The people that study a lot, they'll quit studying. And you think the people that don't study are going to start studying? No. So what's eventually going to happen to the grade point average of the class? It's going to go down. Anybody ever heard of the book Atlas Shrugged?
No.
Read it. It's a good book. It's called Atlas Shrugged. It's a good book. Okay. Okay, I'll shut up. Are we recording? We are recording. So let's go ahead and pull up the first question. We only got 2 questions to go over. So I'll just pull over this one first. This is 3.229/10. First of all, I'll tell you if it's a test question. Yes, it is a test question. Why is it a test question? Because it says their mean and standard deviation. What's the first thing you're going to do? No, good. You articulate. Good job. I heard that. You draw a curve. It wasn't. So draw a curve. I'll write everything on the board so you can see it, because I know there's people sitting in the back of the room that can't see it. And somebody took the styluses and, oh gosh, some of these people. We have one teacher that puts them over here in this thing. Really? Mean is 100. Whatever. And the standard deviation is 18. So go ahead and set up your curve. Set up your curve. Don't do anything else. Just set it up with the percentages and set it up with the z-scores and the. No sneezing in class either. Sorry. I'll do the z-scores in yellow. 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. And 100, 118, 100 what, 36? What is this, 82? I don't know, what is it?
Yes.
And what's 82 minus 18? Dang old 64?
Yes.
So there's that. Draw your percentages. I'm just going to go with 2.5 here, and 13.5, and 34, and 34, and 13.5, and 2.5. Now again, a lot of you are probably sitting there going, why is he continuing to do this, blah, blah, blah. One is because somebody asked a question, okay? And everybody in this class doesn't walk on water like whoever's asking a question, okay? 2, the reason I'm going over it, and I tell you to draw that picture every time, is when we get to chapter 6 and 7, or whichever one it is, we're going to be doing this every day. So you got to get used to it. Okay? So, what does it say? I think I've just taken care of this. That's what I've taken care of. Oh, it says use the empirical rule. Good. Determine the following. What percentages of people has an IQ score between 64 and 136? So 64, I'm going to take my handy dandy green highlighter. This left side doesn't work very well. I'm going to take my green highlighter per day, and we're going to put a dot right here, or between 64 and 136. Okay, now I'm not a rocket scientist, but looks like to me you just have to add up all the percentages from 13.5 to 13.5, which is 68 plus, I don't know, what, 27? Somebody add that up. What do you get?
95.
How much?
95.
And 95% is also what? Starts with an N. Normal. So that first one will be 95%. And yes, this is a test question. Very much test question. Probably 2 test questions. Okay, so I'm going to hit undo and undo and undo. I'm going to get rid of the green shade. And now let's go 45 to 154, and I'll color that aqua from 46. Okay, they want to go 3 standard deviations. Oh. Okay, so that means 64 minus 18 is what? Should be 46. Y'all check it. Is it? Okay, 46 right here. So that means we got to change this to 2.35 and 0.15 or whatever y'all's book. What did y'all say y'all's book calls it?
0.15.
Is it 0.15? Okay, over here, I'm going to do it over here too. 2.35 and 0.15, and this will be 136 plus 18, which will be 154. Somebody check it. Okay? All right, so let's take our highlighter, which is going to be blue, and we'll do 46 to 136. All right, take your handy dandy calculator and add all those percentages up. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let y'all do it.
It says less than 46.
Huh?
Less than 46.
I'm sorry. Remember, I'm a male, so I don't read directions very well. So let me redo that. Less than 46 and more than 154. So that's pretty easy. What's 15 cent and 15 cent? 30 cents. So that'd be 0.30. Well, y'all can write it because this thing don't work good on the left-hand side. Do it over here. 0.3. 30 cents. And then, what percentage of people has an IQ score greater than 118? So that'd be this area right here. So 2.5 plus 13.5 is dang old 16%. Or 0.16. However they want it. It says, okay, type in as an integer. So that'd be, first one would be 95. The second one would be whatever I said. What was the second one? 30. Third would be, okay, that'd be 0.3, which would be what? 3%, right?
No, 0.3%.
0.3%, yeah. 0.3%. And then this one would be 16%, right? Now, you need to make sure you can do that. So that is the empirical rule. That's why I told you. What page was it on? Look in your notes. We said it the other day. What page? I think this is about the 3rd or 4th time I've told y'all to memorize the empirical rule. What page? I told you did we look it up or we didn't look it up? I don't think y'all did look it up. Well, keep looking. It should be in your notes. We looked it up. I thought we looked it up. If we didn't, we need to. Let's go ahead and do that. Because I don't think y'all have a book, do you? Because I told y'all not to buy a book, right? Told you to take your book, never to buy a book for class. That's what I told you. Okay, since nobody's going to buy a book or nobody's got a book, I'll go pull it up. Y'all know I'm kidding. I didn't tell y'all not to buy a book. Y'all just take it that way for some reason. I don't know why. I offend y'all or something? Y'all just not talking to me this morning or what? Too early? Okay, I hate to tell y'all this, but there's this thing that starts with an L. You know what it is? I-F-E. It's called life. You're gonna go to work at 8 o'clock, so you might as well get used to it. I'm trying to find y'all. Where's 120? 120. There you are. That's why they developed coffee and Mountain Dew. Okay? And that's why you should tell my son, that's why I squirt him with water every night. Get in bed at 9 and 10 o'clock and you won't feel like crap in the morning.
That's early.
I'm just telling you. What does Rocky say? If you want to dance, you got to pay the band.
Yeah.
If you want to stay up late, then you got to what? You got to pay the consequences in the morning.
Wow, like I'm not even home by then. That's
Well.
the thing.
What are you doing that late at night? Nothing unless you're working.
It's baseball season, so
Oh, well.
away tournaments, like away games. We get back.
Well, you need to put your priorities straight. Math is more important. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I went to bed at 6:30 last night.
You went to bed what? Sometimes I go to bed at dadgum 7 o'clock because I've just had a crappy day. Y'all ever had one of those? It's better than drinking. You know, if you go to bed like 7 o'clock, it's better than sitting around drinking. Yeah, it is because, like I say, if you want to dance, you got to pay the band. If you want to drink, what do you do the next day? You pay for it.
You really pay for it.
Yep. What chapter does anybody know where it is? What chapter are we in? 3? Okay, since nobody has a book, I guess I'm just going to have to find it for y'all. Y'all don't try to help me, okay? I'll do it. That's okay.
I have my book just in my phone.
Yeah, dog ate it and all that stuff, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna get it, yo.
No, forget it. I'm still trying to find the dadgum. I don't know if it's in 2 or 3. I have no idea. Because if I don't find it, you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to miss it on the test and they're going to say, well, I don't have a book. That's what they're going to say. So now I can say, here it is, pull it up on the dadgum internet. So we got to find it. So. There it is. Page 132. Write that down, page 132. Now you are responsible for the empirical rule. So now you can't hold that up. And they use 0.15. Whoever said that a while ago, you were correct. 0.15. So let's blow it up so everybody can draw it, because I know this is a lot of work to have to pull this e-text up and print this page out. You have to hit like 3 buttons. So we can cover that excuse. Let's go ahead and pull it up and everybody write it down. There it is. There's always one. There's nothing free. And if you want to dance, you got to pay the band. My daughter and my son have heard that so much. They done got to where they say, don't say it, Daddy. Don't say it. Those are the 3. And for you guys, never engage in a question that is close to, does this make me look fat? Or if I die, will you remarry? Don't you ever answer those 2 questions. You change the subject and say, it's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah, that's dangerous territory.
Yeah. And don't get married till you're 35 or 40. If you're a guy. Because you can't handle it. So write that down and put empirical rule and put 2 or 3 questions on the test. Hubert told me in your notes. And I told y'all not to get a book. Now remember, I told you to go to Google and pull up normal distribution curve. And then it'll print out all these with z-scores on it. It'll print out with percentages on it. You find the one you like. You put 6 of them on a word processing sheet, copy and paste. And then you run 10 printouts. Or you run 1 printout and run 10 copies. And that way, you don't ever have to worry about drawing it 15, 20 times in Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. All right. Most of y'all should already have this. But like I said, it does require punching at least 3 or 4 buttons, so some of y'all can't handle it. Okay, any questions on the empirical rule? All right, let's move to the other question. And the other question is right there. This is 2.2, number 33, number 11 online. Okay, this is not a test question. Why? It's busy work, yes. Okay, it's a good homework question because it'll show you how to use the Excel spreadsheet. And I would highly suggest using an Excel spreadsheet unless you're on the calculator drill team and can punch in those numbers like in 15 seconds. Okay, if you're one of those people, we won't even talk about that. But anyway, the best way to do this problem is with an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to pull it up. Now, if you don't know how to use an Excel spreadsheet, you punch it in your calculator. Now, I'm going to show you the buttons to use in your calculator, but I'm not punching in all those because that's a pain in the butt. Okay, so, but I will go to the, click on that little icon right there, open in Excel. I ain't even looking at the, I'm not even looking at the A through Z because I know it's going to ask you for the mean, standard deviation. We'll go ahead and do a 5-number summary if you want to. But there are the numbers. Okay, I'm going to put them in order for you. You highlight that column. What is it, 51 or 50? 51? Oh, that's nice. A good odd number. And hit data and hit sort. Okay, now I'm going to draw, I'm going to make them big so y'all can, and I'll give y'all time to write them down. This is just for your information and for your homework. So let me make it, there you go. And let me open it up a little bit. Okay, so if you want to write those down, write them down. I'll move it up after you get to number 22. So write those down, 114.9, 138.2. Can everybody see them? Huh? If you can't, then move your butt where? To the front. To the front of the room. Yeah. So if you're a Southern Baptist, you're going to have to move to the front of the room. Okay, I'm sorry. Fried chicken will be served later. Oh my God, who did I offend? I'm a Southern Baptist, so I can make fun of myself. All right. 114.9, 138.2, 158.8, all the way down to 312.1. Write those down. Now, the reason I want you to write this down is because I'm going to show you what to use in the calculator. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to type all those in. You can type them in. Okay? Where do you type them in? You go to Stat, and then you go to Edit. And then you punch all those numbers in the first column. So get your calculators out and do that. And this is a good problem, not for the test, but it's a good problem for you to know, how to do everything. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, standard deviation, 5-number summary, normal distribution, box plot, all that good stuff. Let me know when you get to number 22. You already got number 22? No, I'm just standing here talking to the guy about the room. Where is he? Go get it, right now. Okay, hopefully you got at least 5 or 10 written down. I'm gonna move them up a little bit for you. I'm not gonna move them all the way up, but at least let you write down a few more. There's a few, 23 to 31. It's a good way to conceal vodka. Very smart.
You some of that.
Yeah. Not a vodka drinker. I drank some when I was in high school. And it was not a pleasant experience. What?
Was it not a pleasant experience because of the Russian drink?
Yeah, it was the Russians. They threw me in a van, they beat me up, and they made me drink vodka.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And then they told me who to vote for after I got to be 18. All right, I'm gonna move it up from 31 to 40. Give y'all a few more minutes, give y'all a few more. There, 46, 31 to 46.
A lot of numbers.
Yep.
Showing up.
But just think about it. You're learning, you're gonna get an education, you're gonna get a degree, you're gonna move on to make millions of dollars, and then give away 70% to the government. So you can take home 30%.
Tax evasion. You lose about 70%.
Right now, if you make over 250,000 a year, you give almost 40% to the government. But there are some people that want you to give 70% if you make over 250,000.
That's stupid.
So what's the motivation to be a millionaire? If you get 70%.
Let's make 240,000.
Exactly, and that's the whole purpose, that's the whole thing behind Atlas Shrugged. The people that makes all the money and the people that comes up with all the inventions and the people that, do all
Or the other things.
Yeah. they leave. They leave and they make their own little world on an island and they put a force field around it where nobody can see them. And the rest of the world goes to hell in a handbasket because nobody's, there to work, nobody's there to do anything. Anybody in here from New York? What are people doing in New York and California? They're leaving the state. Does anybody know why? Taxes are so high. So they're leaving the state. Okay, now let's move up and get to the last 4. Now I want you to take your calculators and punch them in. Now that'll make some of y'all real happy. Y'all can take y'all's, twirl around on your finger on the basketball. Synchronized calculator. Now, when you type them in the calculator, I'm going to show you the buttons to use to find all the good stuff and not have to do it on an Excel spreadsheet. So hit Stat, Edit, and put all those numbers in the first column. Stat and Edit. Y'all should be able to find Stat. I mean, it says Stat. Yeah. Third button, second row, says Stat. Type them in, and then I'll show you what to hit after that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and be doing some of these things while y'all are typing them in. Has everybody got them copied? Okay. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. And you notice I told you to get out your calculators. This is a calculator problem. When do you use your calculators? When it's a lot of decimals or a lot of numbers and you got to get 5 or 6 different things, that's when you use your calculator. You do not use your calculator to add 52 plus 7. All right, so I'm going to take my handy dandy mean and I'm going to find that first. And how many we got? 51. So I'm going to divide that by 51. Enter. And I've got it to 3 decimal places. That's good enough for government work. So now I'm going to find the median. Well, that'll be 26, won't it? Yes. That'll be that number, so I don't have to do anything because 51 is odd. I don't really care about the mode. Let me ask you something. The more decimals you have, the less likely you have to have a what? A mode. The more decimal places that are being used, the less likely you're going to have a mode. Because what are those decimal points doing? They're fluctuating. Okay? So it's going to be very, very hard to have a mode to the 10,000th of a decimal point. Okay? I don't know about the 10th, but I really don't care, so I'm going to skip that. You can take the time and find it. That's observatory. It's not calculated. So I really think y'all can handle that. Okay? Range is equal to this outlier minus, and yes, that is an outlier. You should already know that. And that right there. Mid-range is equal to that plus that divided by what? 2. Well, I can't type right. Oh, I don't have a parenthesis there. And the variance, let's go ahead and subtract, equals this number minus this number, F4 to lock, and copy that down. That's your first call. I got it documented. Equals this raised to the second power. And what do we do with that number? We add it all what? Add it all up, and that is our numerator of the variance. Yes, ma'am.
Is it right to the second power or the
The standard deviation is 0.5 power of the variance.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you square this column. And I'm going to divide it by, what's 51 minus 50? Punch that in your calculator right quick. or 51 minus 1, I'm sorry, 50. And now you take that number and raise it to the 0.5 power. Okay, now I want you to draw your curve. Equals the mean in the middle. And what are you going to do to the right of the mean? Add the standard deviation. And I'm going to carry it to 3. And then what do you do on the left side of the mean? Huh? Subtract. Thank you. Okay, now I want everybody to do the 5-number summary. And again, I'm going to show everybody how to do this on a calculator, and you're going to go, oh, that's great. Except for the people that invented the calculator. I told you about my truck, didn't I? Got a new transmission in it. Went down to Florida, come back, everything's fine. Drove around Anderson a couple of days, hooked up to a trailer, and that young transmission blew out.
Sounds renewing then, huh?
Yeah. No, they're fixing it.
So you hadn't taken it there for the 3rd time?
This is the 3rd time, yeah. I think it's the valve body. I think the valve body is wore out. I told them to do a new valve body on it. I guarantee you that's probably what it is. Because after a while, after you rebuild transmission so many times, you know, you ever heard of the bolts wearing out? Well, the valve body, the actual body of the transmission, the big silver part, it wears out. So I told them to put a new valve body on it.
Well, you know, they're expensive 3 times a jar.
Yeah. Well, a new one is a whole lot more expensive than rebuilding one.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I got a different mean.
How much different?
Not too different. I still got 400, but mine says 0.496.
Okay, that's fine. You got, how many, go to mode and set your, mode and set your, significant digits. I'm going to 3, so set it to 3 and see what it comes out to. I don't know why the calculators are given different numbers than the spreadsheet. The only thing I can think of is that they're configured differently on the significant digits. That's the only thing I can come up with. But if you do it on, let me just say this, if you're doing a test and you put your calculator and it marks it wrong and the answer is 400.47, I'll count it correct because that's just a rounding error, which I think is between the calculator and Excel. So, but I think they also give a tolerance on some of the questions, like 0.05. You know, they give you a tolerance on some. If they don't, that's a challenge question on the test. You come see me after class and we'll look at it. About 80% of the time, I'm pretty lenient on your challenge questions. If you get a 57 and the answer is 105, I can't help you there. But usually if it's close, I can help you. Okay, now 5-number summary. What do you got to have? You got to have the min, the median, and the max. Min, median, that's the second quartile, and the what? Max. Now those are the 3 things that you really don't have to work for. And if you miss them on a test, you don't what? You don't tell anybody you missed it. Okay? The median is equal to that. And the max is equal to that outlier down there. Okay, so how do you find the others? Well, you got to find your median. Here's your median right here. How many numbers are above your median? 25. So is that odd or even? Odd. So you just got to find the middle, which will be the 13th number, correct? So we'll highlight that one, what, per day? And down here, we got to go to the 13th number, which would be 29. Somebody help me out. I'm sorry, not 39. Thank you. Oh. And we'll color that dang old blue. And that's those two numbers. So the second quartile, or the first quartile, is equal to, oh, did I forget the mid-range? I think I forgot the mid-range, didn't I? I suck. And that's going to be yeller, or yellow, depending on where you're from. And the third quartile is equal to this number down here, and that's going to be blue. And that's going to be that number, which is, we'll color that kind of a grayish. The things I do for y'all, but y'all don't have posters, so I'm sorry. Aqua. Everybody good? Now draw the bout. I did do the mid-range. There's the mid-range, and I'm going to highlight that burnt orange color, because what is the mid-range? That is the middle of your what? Middle of your what? I didn't hear you. I heard middle of your data or the middle of your number line? Middle of your number line. Let's write that down since 90% of you did not interact with me. Mid-range is the middle of the number line. Did everybody write that down? Middle of the number line. So what makes up the number line? What three numbers make up the number line? Min. Good job. Min, max, and the mid-range. So draw your number line and graduate it. Now it's going to be, you're going to have to use your calculator to graduate it because it's a bunch of decimals. So it's a pain in the butt. No yawn in this class. Now this is where I told you the other day that the calculator sucks, because it puts first of all, it puts the box plot in the right-hand quadrant, in the top right quadrant, which is the first quadrant, but you really can't see it very well, and you really can't graduate it to the x-axis, so you really can't tell anything about it. So this is where it's better to do the box plot by hand. But the calculator will give you the 5-number summary so you can draw the box plot. So let's take our handy dandy black pen. And of course that'll be, I'm not going to do the decimals, people, because I don't have the calculator up here and I don't feel like doing it. 114, that'll be 115. And this god-awful number, 1349, and the mid-range is 732. Okay, somebody add 732 plus 115 and divide it by 2 for me. Please don't mess it up. 115 plus 732 divided by 2.
444.
Okay, do the same thing over here. What'd you say, 424? Somebody take 732 plus 1349 and divide by 2.
1041.
1041?
Yep.
Okay. Now let's do 115 plus 424 divided by 2. That'd be 539, 540. Half of 540 is what? 270? Okay, somebody do these two. It's gonna be 1156, 28, 78, 578. Kind of hard doing your head. Unless you Rain Man. All right, 732, that's 1773. Forget it. Y'all do that. How much? 887, and somebody do the last one. Say again? 1,195. Okay, that's enough for government work. Now let's do what? The box plot. So I'm gonna take my Verde pen, and I'm gonna put 249, 250 is close enough. 250 is gonna be where? Down here somewhere. And you can draw it above the box plot, or you can draw it on it, or both, I don't care. Yellow, 332. And then blue, 501. Doesn't matter. I think we can all agree that this is skewed what? Why is it skewed right? Somebody tell me, of course, all the data is on the left. But why? Because of that outlier, 1348. Write that down. The reason we got skewed right is because that 1348 is making all the numbers what? Small. Now what if you change that 1348 to what, 400 or something? Then you'd have more of a normal curve. That 1348 makes all the numbers small. So therefore, everything's on the left-hand side in the small end. If you take that 1348 out, then you'd have something different. Now, let's look at the calculator. Hopefully you got all of them in. Now I'm going to show you how to find everything. I better not do that. I better, well, I can't get rid of it, so let me just go to the, I'm getting there, people, just hold on. Okay. There's the calculator. Now, for those of you that didn't invent the calculator, and those of you that wasn't on the calculator drill team, what the, oh, really? This school trips me out. School of Technology. But you gotta set up the calculator each time you pull it up. Okay, all right, so stat, you plug in, I'm just gonna plug in some numbers, okay? I'm not gonna plug in 50 numbers. So edit, and somebody's already done that, so I'll just delete these. Okay, so everybody see those numbers right there? All right, well, I gotta put in more than 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, now I go to stat. Now this is how you sort. You go to stat, you go to sort in ascending order. Ascending means that it's going what? From small to what? Large. So sort A, and then type in second L1, which is 1, close parentheses, hit enter, and that'll sort it. Okay? Hit stat, calculate what? First variable stat. Hit second L1. Okay, it don't need parentheses, sorry. Let me do it again. I suck. I don't use calculator all the time. Okay, L1, and hit enter. And there is your numbers. And you go down, And it should give you your 5-number what? Summary. So make sure you can do that. Can you do a stat plot? Can you plot your box plot? Yes. Is it going to make any sense? Probably not. But I'll show you how to do it. You go second, y is equal. Plot on, you hit enter, you turn it on, and you show a box plot with the mean, which is this one. Everybody with me? And you click graph. Now, can you tell anything with that? No, because you don't know where center is. Okay, so like I said, the best thing to do, utilize the calculator when you got over 10 numbers. That's what I would do. And then do all the stuff, and then take the 5-number in the mid-range, 5-number summary in the mid-range, and just sketch your box plot so you'll know what it's saying. Because if you do that, you're not going to know. Capiche? Okay, so that's the 2 questions that we went over today. And let's see. I know what time it is, and I know some of y'all went into hysterics, but I want to go ahead and talk about what we're going to go over next. Okay? And I have no idea. Somebody got an outline right quick so I can look at it? Everybody should have one. Thank you. We're going into probability next. Thank you. Okay, we're going to talk about causation and correlation in 4.1 and 4.2. And then we're going to talk about probability. So I want you to read 4.1 and 4.2 before we come back. I am done with Unit 2. Unit 1. I'm done with Unit 1 because what's due? Is it due tonight? What's due tonight? Homework, and so I don't have anything to go over next time we meet, which is Tuesday. Okay, y'all don't come Tuesday. All right, because we got to waste a day in Pendleton. So I'm going to ask y'all to read 4.1 and 4.2 before we meet Thursday. Okay, everybody with me? All right, y'all get out of here. Have a good day, good weekend, and get those tests and homework done.